You had said to her that you had never been to Disney.
Right.
Yep.
But from what I gathered before you went on this trip,
Yes.
he also never said he wanted to go. He just said he
People
hadn't
don't
been.
say that they want something for Christmas, but they get it and then they enjoy it.
This is like kind of weird. Isn't it kind of weird?
Isn't it kind of weird?
All right, everybody do a mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Is your headphone pulling?
No, not like last time.
We have to just kind of
People are
going to
be like, wow, Camilla, you're wearing the same pants for 3 weeks in a row. The answer is yes.
Well, now everybody's going to know. Let's get a mic check.
Yep. Hello.
Yeah. You're doing great, sweetie.
What's that supposed to mean?
No, we just want to make sure we can hear you.
Just want to make sure we can hear you.
Because I can hear you in my head.
Okay.
I think we have a special guest today. I think we have talked
Wait, do you
about.
even hit record?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know you hit it.
Live, yeah, we're just doing this.
Oh, we're going for it.
I think we've talked about Nicholas if we've done about 50 episodes, we've talked about Nick in at least 48 of them.
How many episodes?
48. I feel like your name comes up in almost every episode.
Yeah, pretty accurate, to be honest. We just filmed. Yeah,
What are we at? We're at 40.
We had 44.
This is 48.
45.
I don't know.
46. 47. This is 48.
Wow.
This is episode 48. Are we going to do something big for our 50th?
Well,
It's like we turned
I was
50.
thinking the 52nd because that's a full year.
Oh, like our 1 year anniversary.
Kind of,
I
right?
get
But
it.
it's not a 1 year anniversary, is it?
It would be because we've done one every single year.
Every
Every single
We've done one every single year. That 1 year.
every single week of the year. I was like dead ass on it too. Every single week of the year.
Right. Yes.
So yeah, it would be actually our 1 year anniversary.
We'll figure out what we're gonna do for that. But anyway, Nick's here.
Nick's here.
Hello.
For those of you who don't know, Nick is my fiance. I called him boyfriend quite a few times on our trip.
What, to Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, my boyfriend. And I was like, wait. There was one point where you turned around and you were
I'm
like,
looking
boyfriend?
at you like,
Boyfriend?
Did you forget? The whole ring thing.
I do.
sometimes I forget too.
It's like weird to say it.
Yeah. Do you normally say fiance or do you
Yeah.
still? Yeah.
I like actively try to say it because like he did spend a lot of money on a ring. So like I feel like I should use the word.
Sometimes I slipped up, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
good at saying fiance.
I think he's better than I am.
I think everybody has that transition. Even like when I was saying it earlier, I said your boyfriend, but I meant then I had to correct myself. Your fiance, because this is that weird in between. Once you get married, I think it'll be easy husband wife.
right.
I feel like even that might be like a weird transition for a little while.
You think so? I
I
think
think so.
I think fiance is
Like,
a
I feel
bigger
like-
transition.
I feel like just when I start to get used to doing this and saying fiance,
Yeah,
then I'm
you're-
gonna have to say husband, and I'm like at that point now I'm screwed up all over again.
It's kind of the
So-
same thing though. Fiance, husband, fiance, wife.
I don't know because
'Cause
I feel like the wife is like
Boyfriend, girlfriend to fiance is kind of like a big jump.
yeah, that is true because
Yeah.
then you know that you're like most likely getting married.
You're- Usually that's the next
That's like the normal progression of it all.
step.
So Nicholas and I went to Disney, and the whole purpose of him being here
I can't wait for this. I'm
is
so
because
excited.
Joe wanted to interview Nicholas about his Disney experience. Now,
But why?
because Joseph believes that this gift that I gave Nicholas for Christmas was actually a gift for myself, and that I would be the one to enjoy it more than him.
Because Nick had said, you had said to her that you had never been to Disney.
Right.
Yep.
But from what I gathered before you went on this trip,
Yes.
he also never said he wanted to go. He just said
People
he hadn't
don't
been.
say that they want something for Christmas, but they get it and then they enjoy it.
Yeah,
like-
maybe, but you booked the whole trip without. He never said
You would
Before.
never surprise her with like a surprise trip ever.
if. If she said I've never been to Bangladesh, I'm not going to be like, hey, you know what? I think that's the hint. She wants to go to Bangladesh.
Yeah. So like
No.
instead of, because marriage isn't your thing. So why do we, what? Instead we go to Bangladesh. There you go.
But
that is,
my point is like if she could tell me that she's never been to Bangladesh and she probably doesn't want to go, she just told me she'd never been. That's how I interpreted the Disney.
I took it as, but hold on. So Nicholas took it very seriously, and we'll get into his experience. Nicholas started taking notes in his note app for you in the very beginning.
I didn't get too far. I didn't want. I didn't get too far on the notes I made.
We were on our very first day there, and he literally was like, "Hold on, I got to take notes for Joe." And I was like, "Wait,
I'm like, the good, the
bad, the pros and cons."
All right, so we'll go back to the beginning. When you found out that this was your Christmas gift,
Yep.
Were you excited?
Was I excited?
You could be honest. Whatever way it is.
I don't think excited is a. No, I was not excited, but I was.
Great.
I was looking forward to it. I'm like, all right, I've never been.
Okay.
It would be nice to go.
He wasn't like, "Oh my God, Disney, yes."
It's like you should have just taken me to a Celtics game.
Courtside seats for that one's money.
Oh,
He's wanted to say courtside for a long time.
See,
I want my feet on the court.
that would be nice. All right, so
I want the sweat all over me.
he wasn't exactly excited, but he wasn't let down. Okay, so
Right.
then take us through the trip.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, take us through
Both
the
of
trip.
us?
Well, the both of you. I wasn't there.
Okay, so we leave from TF Green, your favorite airport ever, and
great.
he liked it too because obviously it's super close. We had to get up really early, but shout out Gabby, offered to bring us there.
Shout out Gabs.
Tried to bring us there,
But didn't.
but we
did
didn't because she was already awake. But we had already called an Uber at that point, and if we reserved it the day before, it was like $50 to go 8 minutes away. So we were like, "F that, we'll just have her bring us." But then we checked in the morning, and it was $15. So we ended up doing that, and it was fine. Excuse me. And then we got there, dropped off our bags, and went straight to the very first park, which is Epcot.
Okay.
So Epcot is where you can eat and drink around the world.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about your experience at Epcot? Did you like eating and drinking around the world?
Yeah,
That was the very first thing that we did there.
I didn't have a lot of expectations to like any of it. Like I just went into it just going into it. Like I didn't know what. I mean, I knew Epcot was eating and drinking around the world. I thought it would be a lot smaller than what it was.
Okay.
Like Japan was huge. Like all the stores they had. Each, like France was a lot of things to do as well, and same with like the UK. But then you got to like America, which kind of sucked.
Yeah, it was like the worst country out of all of them.
One huge building, and then you can go in, buy some paintings, and that's kind of really it.
Yeah.
We didn't get any food or drinks from.
We got drinks from America. They had this like Minute Maid lemonade drink with like some other.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was like the yellow one.
So you ate and drank around the world, but you didn't really.
But like not really.
We
faked
did.
it.
We did.
No, but like didn't actually travel the world for it. We had a food from like a few countries, but we had a drink from every single country because we were gonna both go in on it, and like I'll have 11 essentially because it's 11 countries, and he'll have 11. And we started with the first one, and we were like, nah, like I would be unwell. But two, the drinks are expensive. So like you're spending a lot of money on this stuff. And it's like, if we bought 22 drinks, and like he was also saying, he's like, not for nothing, but you're not going to finish your drink.
Finish all of it.
So now
I'm
he's
gonna be
22 drinks
I'm gonna
in.
be carked before the night's even over.
So he'll be 22 drinks in.
So we just shared one drink, which was
So
fine.
that was
each
the
place.
first spot that you guys went to.
Yeah.
Did you hotel it first and then?
We dropped off our bags because the room wasn't ready. We stayed at
Okay.
the Aloft Hotel in Lake Buena Vista.
Now is that like close to where you guys were?
It was about like 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was super close.
So you didn't stay at
The Disney
No.
parks, no,
Okay.
those are so expensive.
right. All right.
So we spent that whole day there, and then there were a few rides over there. So there was two major rides that we tried. One was Mission Space, and the other one was Test Track.
Test Track, yep.
And thoughts on Mission Space and thoughts on Test Track.
Test Track was a lot of fun. You're able to like create your own car, aerodynamics. If you want like a certain, it's kind of like the Need for Speed type of game. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
pick the engine or NOS or whatever. So that was cool. And what was the other one?
The other one was
I'm already getting the vibe here.
I
Like,
know.
so
the way
much-
he's talking
so
about
much-
it is like that. I'm like, and he was like this, and
So much
yeah, it was
happened.
Cool. was pretty cool.
Okay.
Like
So much
literally, Nick
happened,
has
but
not broken a smile once while talking about this, and I'm looking at him like this.
This is good. This is exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Great.
Missions.
Thanks.
Oh, is that the one with the? We were.
So finish test track. So test track after once you create the car.
There's more there.
Once you have the car, you get to sit in like a simulator that like would give you the experience of what your car would drive like essentially, and it compares it to other cars and how fast it would get through the track. It's cool.
Yeah. So you go through like.
Yeah.
What was it? It was, like wind, and there was
Yeah, like how quickly you
like
can brake.
terrain. If the car was good off road.
This sounds like iRacing. I mean, you could do
Sounds
this
like what?
iRacing.
What's
The hell is
that?
You could do this at home. It's like a simulator for like
Oh.
NASCAR and
Yeah,
shit.
that's like essentially what it was. It was
Yeah.
like a simulator. Then the other one was Mission Space, where you go into like this little capsule, and it was the two of us with one other guy, and they like imitate what like G-force would feel like. So you're like sitting on this thing, and you watch
Oh.
this like screen,
Yep.
and it gives you the effect of what it would be like to go to space. I felt so sick, and he felt super sick from that.
Yeah.
It was like.
Is it like moving while you're in there, or I mean,
No,
is it like shaking?
It's not like.
It feels like pressure. Like I felt like my eyes were gonna pop out of my head. And I've been on that once before, but I think as I'm getting older, like that was just a no.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel good
So
after.
we was sitting, and like there was a screen that kind of came close to us, and we had to like push certain buttons. We had like assigned
Yeah.
a thing to do. So I was a pilot, and she was like the engineer or whatever it was.
Navigator, I think.
But it's like a rocket ship. Like
So
we're looking up, and we're going.
But
and-
we're not actually moving.
But we're not
you
actually
feel
moving.
like
But
it.
just like looking at the screen, it feels like you're in it. But I got dizzy so quick. I'm
Yeah.
like, I closed my eyes for like 25 seconds. I was like, I don't like this.
I
yeah.
don't think I would like that.
Neither of
either.
us liked it. But that was
What about the third guy that was in there?
He
with
didn't
you?
say boo.
he didn't say anything to us
What
the
was
whole
his
time.
role?
He got out and
Booked it.
I don't know what his role was.
I think it was like navigator, engineer, and like co-pilot, and then pilot or something like
But
that.
once the ride ended, he was.
he was gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
He went to go puke probably.
Probably that was like unwell. But Epcot was the one where it was like there really wasn't too many rides. There was a ride that we were supposed to go on that we wanted to go on, and it was a new ride called Guardians of the Galaxy, and there was a virtual queue for it that I couldn't get in time. So instead of going on that one, we figured we'd go on it another day, and I'll try to get on it another day. But we really only went on 2 rides, and then we did the fireworks show at night. It was cold.
How was the fireworks?
Fireworks is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, how long? She's like, I finally got one.
Fireworks are actually pretty cool.
How long was like the fireworks show
Like,
for?
like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, it was like
All
20,
right, that's a
25
good show,
minutes.
then.
Yeah, it's a good show. So they do a whole like water light show with like music, and they talk about the nations and the countries, and you can see the countries in the back, and they light them up like the outline of the buildings of the country, and it goes to the music, and it's actually really nice. I don't remember that show really well, but however they're doing it now is like amazing. It's really good. It's a newer show that they just like renovated. Apparently Epcot did like a show before, but this is now all like new.
Gotcha.
So I think, could you have done without Epcot, or are you glad that you saw it?
Give me a rating, A to F.
Yeah. We'll do that for each one.
I liked Epcot a lot. I give it A to F. I give it. What's so funny?
Because I can tell he's
He's
trying to
like
be generous.
so
about
not
this.
enthusiastic about it.
I give it a D.
That's right before failing, Nicholas.
So he didn't like it.
Damn.
He didn't like it. He liked the fireworks show and
Fireworks and the rides.
I feel like I would have gotten a C out of that, not a D. A D is like literally not even passing.
like,
Sure it is. 60.
No, a 60 is a C.
60. No, it's
No, it's
not.
not.
I think
70?
65 is D, and then anything other 65 is an F. 60
That's
is not
really
a C.
low.
D plus.
So 68.
68.
It's really low. Okay, so then the next day we started with I'm really doing great here. This was a very different conversation when it was just me and him. I'm like, tell me how you feel, and he was like, I had a lot of fun. I'm like, oh, cool.
This is yeah,
I
but this
liked
is the
it.
honesty hour. Now.
It was fun. It's just the whole, I don't know. Just the rides were cool. The drinking was, I mean, they were kind of, I mean, you have a whole, the drinks were okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just talked about it with my manager. Like the food and drink, like people, and my manager was saying this, and she's like, I think it's because Camilla, like you're very fortunate that you've gotten to try food, like really great food. You know the good food spots. You've traveled to different countries, like whatever. The food in Disney is awful. Like it's really like it's not bad, but it's not good. And I've spent a lot of money. We spent a lot of money on food and drinks for them to just be like okay.
Yeah, like strawberry daiquiri, like a frozen strawberry daiquiri. I've had that plenty of times.
Yeah, and they had it in the country of Morocco, and it was like $15 for this like cup of strawberry daiquiri that we've had before. I've had it in the Bahamas. I've had it in Florida, and we had it in New Orleans, and it tasted just as good. And it was
probably go to Block Island and it tastes better.
Exactly.
100%. So that's the thing. I do agree. Like the food, everyone's like, but have you tried this churros? It's the best churros in the world. I've had better churros from like the most authentic Mexican restaurant in Rhode Island, and they were 100 times better.
Okay.
So it's like,
so the food. All right. So then grade me on the food total. Where, like both of you, where were you at with the food?
in Disney parks.
Yeah, in the park. So like A to F. I'm not trying to pile on, but
that's
but
truly like a D minus. Like that's like almost
Okay.
that's like a fail for me almost.
Okay.
Like a D minus.
for the price that you pay.
Yeah.
I'll stay with the D.
Yeah. I'm like a D minus to an F on
Double
that.
D's already.
Drinks like a little more innovative, but they're all like sugary.
Yeah.
Like they're not.
And I didn't get any beer because beer doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah. So like maybe the beer would have made us feel better, but it's like we went to the country of France. He had a croque monsieur, which is like a ham and cheese like melted sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
We got a single beignet, and which was like almost like it was just circular with like Nutella in the middle. And then I had a baguette, which was supposed to have like ham, Swiss, and ground mustard. I think, did you buy that one or it was like $80 for those for those three things.
Yo.
And the food, the croque monsieur, he didn't mind it. He liked that.
I liked it.
The beignet was okay. It was really dry. I've had beignets from Dante's, like for like breakfast at the Dante's place on East Greenwich. Their beignets are fire, and it comes with Nutella for dipping and like a homemade raspberry sauce. Way better. I also had beignets in New Orleans that was like literally $4.99, and they're way better. And then my baguette, the ham was just okay. I took off the cheese because I couldn't have the cheese. There was literally no ground mustard, and I love ground mustard because it has the little like mustard seeds in it. The best thing about that was just the bread, and I could have just had the bread and butter, but I paid $15 for essentially bread and a few slices of ham.
Yikes. So the
So now you
food.
can see why I gave it a D.
Yeah, and you gave it like an F, didn't you? D minus.
For the food wise, yeah, it's like a D minus F. Like,
Okay.
It really didn't.
I was
it
talking
wasn't
about-
anything.
I don't want to keep on talking to everybody. I was thinking about just Epcot in general.
Yeah, your rating of
Yeah,
Epcot
yeah.
is low. Mine
That's
isn't
fair.
as low, but I'll tell you what my like rating of each one is after.
Okay.
So Epcot, like overall, probably ranks second for me out of the 4 parks.
A to F.
Wow.
A to F, I say like out of comparing it to the other ones, I'll put it at like a B minus.
Okay.
And then the next day, we started with Animal Kingdom, and we did Hollywood Studios afterwards.
Okay.
So Animal Kingdom, we were there from like 10 in the morning until 5:30, and then we went to Hollywood Studios at night. But we'll break it up into just starting off with Animal Kingdom. So Animal Kingdom has obviously animals. They have rides. They have like a safari that you can go see. Like the animals in the wild while you're in the little like RV caravan type deal.
Sure.
They have a walkthrough where it's like a zoo and you can see things. So how do you,
Animal Kingdom, definitely my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. Out of all of them?
What about it? Was it like certain animals that you get to see, or was it the rides that were in there?
All of it. I love the animals. I love was going on that the safari ride the first thing we did.
The first thing that we did was the A Bug's Life 4D ride.
That
So
was fun.
it was a ride where it's not a ride, but you sit there and you put glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it when I was a kid, and my mom was like, take Nikki on it. Like, I want to know his reaction. And you can feel things. So like, for example, like you hear buzzing from like bees being around you, and you can feel like gusts of air coming. And then when they tell you at the end, they're like, please stay seated. We want to let out all the bugs and critters out first. Underneath your seats, like under your butt, you can feel like like going across your butt, like
It's like a little
underneath.
ticklish.
So like we did that first. Then we went on the safari. And then we did like the gorilla trek at that point.
safari. I mean, we drove by the animals. I was kind of hoping like some animal would be like, just fighting or something.
Yeah.
Or no, we just drove by. Half of them were just sleeping.
Yeah.
The gazelle and zebras were just.
Sounds awesome.
An ostrich came out.
It was cool. The ostrich got pretty close to the.
Got super close to
van.
us. I'll show you it actually.
Did you see any penguins?
Nope.
No penguins over there.
No
Strictly
penguinos.
safari. Strictly safari.
And they're all sleeping. There's no.
So it's supposed
Kinda.
Apparently, if you go in the morning, they're more active. But Nikki and I didn't go in the morning because we're not morning people. But like, they were super close to us. I mean, they like walked right by the caravan.
Listen, this isn't me trying to rain on people's parades of having fun. That, like, see an ostrich run by, like, how much
But we saw
excitement could that be?
elephants and we saw
You get the same thing.
giraffes. Look at them.
Yeah, I get it. It's cool. You go to Roger Williams, see the same thing.
I just think, no, of course, but I just think it was cool. Just the fact that you get to ride through the little.
Yeah,
Get
that's
to
all
Where
right.
they
ride
are
through it.
versus going.
Listen, if it was
up
fun
the-
for you guys,
Versus looking
then
at a
that's-
gorilla through a plexiglass and
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
so
bird cage and everything else.
that was one thing that we had done, which was a baby gorilla was like on his mom's back, and then he like hopped off his mom's back and then just like sat right near the plexiglass, and we were like right in front of him, and then he played with his mom's poop and then
Mom was
ate
pooping.
it. Yeah, so there was that.
So how big was Animal Kingdom? Was it like bigger than you thought it was
Yes.
going to be? Yeah.
Yes.
And then they had a few different parts. So they had Africa, Asia. Asia's where we did the bird show.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about the bird show? I have to also navigate this conversation a little bit because Nick has never done No, but you've also never done podcasts. So like,
But he also has never been to Disney, so he's taking everything in.
and trying to remember all of it.
Right, so you have to navigate it anyway because he's
Yeah.
probably just overwhelmed with
True.
the whole experience.
The bird show was cool. I mean, it was kind of interesting how you. I mean, they're parrots. I mean, like
Some of them.
birds are smart, but like the fact that you're able to teach a bird how to do things. Like one guy was holding like a $1 bill. Bird comes over, takes it, brings it back. It was just like all the training that they do.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. The whole time we was sitting, and
There was like a bird right above us.
like there's a lot of there's some birds that just are not part of the show.
Yeah.
So they're just regular birds just hanging around. And half the time it was a bird right above us, and I'm just
Nick and I were like this.
I'm like breaking my neck. I'm like, please don't poop.
Don't shit on them.
Don't poop.
But they do like cute things. Like we saw, like not even just like small parrots or anything like that. They were these like giant birds that like they don't even look like they should fly. They're like cranes. Like they're huge,
They were
and
big.
they were like flying right above us. Or like Nick said, like this guy was holding out. He's like, I don't have a $1 bill. It has $10, and he's like, oh, perfect. The bird comes over, takes the $10 bill, puts it in the trainer's pocket, and he's like, thank you so much. Have a great time. Like, I hope you have a magical day. And like they do like little gimmicks like that. So
Yeah,
it was
it was
just funny and it was fun to watch.
Sure.
This episode is sponsored by our friends over at Be a Nice Human.
We don't agree on much on this podcast, but one thing we do agree on is our love for the Be a Nice Human brand.
Their streetwear includes hoodies, beanies, t-shirts, socks, and more to choose from with the simple phrase, be a nice human.
Head over to beanicehuman.me and use the promo code HATETHAT. That's H, the number 8, THAT for 10% off your order.
And remember, you can still be a badass and be a nice human.
The biggest bird they had was like 11 or 11 and a half feet wingspan.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it was huge. It was huge.
Now, I'm ignorant to all things Disney. Is this where SeaWorld?
No.
SeaWorld is in
This is
Orlando, but
Okay.
SeaWorld is separate than Disney.
different. Okay. Because that's
We
the
didn't
shit.
we didn't go to SeaWorld.
I'm not cool with whales in a tank.
No, we weren't either. So
Okay.
that's why we didn't go.
Okay. I
It's
didn't know
an
if it was
extra-
part of the same thing.
No,
or not.
it's like a $65 ticket if we do that. They don't have that kind of stuff there. Anything that is there are rescues that they had. So like some of the stuff, the population, it was like the bald eagle. No, it was some other animal, or maybe it was the bald eagle. But there was something.
It was like the blue feathered parrot, or
Oh,
there
yeah,
was only like
the
400 of them.
And they were able to rebreed them so that there are now no longer on like the endangered species list, just through Disney and like its programming,
Gotcha.
which is cool. But yeah, we didn't go to SeaWorld. And the last part of Animal Kingdom that we did right before we left was going to like Avatar. So they created this whole like Avatar land of like Pandora. And over there we did a few rides that they had, but the most notorious one was an Avatar called Flight of Passage, I believe. And Nick can talk about that one. It was really cool. Did you ever watch Avatar?
Yeah, I was say, have you seen it? No.
Okay, it's
the blue
cool.
people, right?
Yeah.
It is the blue people.
The first one came out in 2008, I think.
Yeah.
So it's old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the second one yet, but
Maybe we'll watch it tonight.
They're making a trilogy out of the. I think they're doing like 3 new ones or something.
Yeah.
Including the new one that just came out.
Yeah.
It's cool. I can't remember what the Banshee. So you ride on you go on the Banshee and you hop on this ride and it's like you're on a motorcycle. You're leaning
You're like
forward.
on the bike of this place.
And like it's just really cool. Like you go through these I'm trying to think of the word. You go through like their environments. So you go through
Pandora.
you go through other treks and all that, and you go through water and you get wet. And I just think overall it was cool. I mean, definitely not what I expected. I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but
I know. I was like, I could see.
So
it in
that
your
was
face.
part of Animal Kingdom, though.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So that ride is like a virtual reality ride where you put on glasses,
Yeah.
and then while you're on the bike, they have you holstered in. Though I've never felt like this before, but when they closed in on you, they literally like closed in on both sides, and it came down really fast on you. But you're like against the bike, and then you're holstered in on like both sides. Like there's almost like you feel like you're sandwiched in between. Then you have the virtual reality glasses, and the screen is the entire wall essentially. Okay. So as you are brought into their world, flying on a Banshee, which is like a giant, like bird mammal thing.
Okay.
As you're flying through, like on it, they tilt you like forwards, and it makes you feel based on like what you're seeing visually, and then how they're like moving you. Okay. You feel like you're flying, like literally straight down, but in reality, you're like probably on this little bike, and you're just like tilted.
You're moving a little bit.
And then like. There was parts where
is it on both sides of you too, or is it just in front of you?
So it's completely in front of you, and we had all the other riders next to us. So like you can see just all the riders like lined up, and if you would look over, you could see their heads, but it looked like they were inside of the so it was very like immersive.
Yep.
And as you're like riding on it, like they're tilting you left, right, like you're about to like go under the water of like a wave. They're misting water at you. It was one of my favorite rides because it was so different and so innovative. We go to Six Flags all the time. They don't have a ride like that there. Like everything's like upside down, roller coasters, like up, down, whatever.
Sure.
That was like, you're not really moving, but it was the most immersive show.
Yeah.
Ride.
But
Yes.
just all of the visual aspects that Disney gives you is pretty cool. Like she was just saying, you can go to Six Flags and you go on a roller coaster and it's over. Like, woo.
Yeah.
But the animatronics to like you would think that it's a real person. Like we went on.
It was the Avatar one.
Just all of them.
Yeah.
Just whatever ride we went on, it was like Captain Hook and the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep.
Just like the dog looked like it was real.
Yeah.
90% of the rides in there have animatronics.
Really?
Yeah, like of the big rides are I mean, Avatar through one of them had like a giant Avatar thing that was like moving, and Nick was like, "I think that's a real person."
I mean, I didn't know it was real. I was like, "That's real." I tried fooling you, but it didn't work
because it was moving like
Yeah.
a real person would, and like you said. We went to Pirates of the Caribbean. They had like Hook and just like John. It literally looked like Johnny Depp was like in front of us. And then,
did they use
like
his
Kong.
likeness for that? That's interesting. Didn't he get dropped from the whole series?
I mean, he did now, but I think ever since the Amber Heard thing happened, I think things might have changed because he was found not guilty.
I think people liked him more after that.
Well, because they immediately dropped him. He was like supposed to do another 4 or 5.
Yeah, it was like a next one, and then they didn't.
And they dropped him.
Yeah, because it's Disney, and like Disney needs the cookie cutter image or whatever. But
yeah, gotcha. Okay, so Animal Kingdom
was
A to F.
A.
All right.
A.
Okay, so all right. So how many more places are there?
There's 2 more.
Okay, so right now
We have
he's batting about a C+ on this whole adventure.
overall.
Average.
Overall,
Yep.
on the average. And
Yeah.
would you give that one?
I gave the other one a B
B
minus,
minus?
so I'm at a B.
You gave this one what? An A?
A. So I'm at
Okay.
a B. I'm at a B average, and he's at like a C plus.
C+.
Yeah. So then the next one, this next one is not going to help, and the next one after that is not going to help.
What do you mean?
For the next two places that we go to. I feel like I know that your rating's not going to be great on them. So the next one's Hollywood. I could be wrong. The next one's Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios was done on the same day as Animal Kingdom, and we got everything done that we wanted to within 3 hours of being there, which was really cool. Hollywood Studios is mostly shopping-like experiences with the exclusion of a few rides. The few rides being one, Tower of Terror, which...
It's a great movie, by the way.
Nicholas screamed. I'll play that video for you later.
Please do.
Screamed.
No.
No, he's never on Instagram, so he didn't see it. People were loving his reaction to it.
All genuine reactions.
So like his reaction, I kind of want to play it now because it's just like funny.
No, play it.
So Nick would be like, "Oh my god," and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "I don't know." And then he'd be like, "Oh my god,
We're in
like,
the dark.
What?
I don't like the dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm on a ride that I don't know. And I don't know what's going to happen.
You're
So
right,
he's just freaking out the whole time. Like literally, quite literally the whole time. So we did that. We also, one of the best rides ever called the Rock and Roller Coaster. It's like an Aerosmith ride is there. But it was shut down for refurbishment until the end of the summer. So it's not fair that he never got to see that one because I think maybe he might have like a higher rating. It's one of the best rides.
Doesn't matter.
One of the best rides.
Doesn't matter. He's judging the
It doesn't
experience
matter,
that he had.
Exactly.
It's
So
not his fault.
You can talk about how good the ride is. I'm like, if I don't go on it,
Cool.
I'm not missing out.
Right.
So, and then the last part of that area is they have a whole like Star Wars universe. He's not really into Star Wars, or he hasn't given it a chance, so he doesn't actually know it. But if you like Star Wars, I mean, we were right next to this one guy who was like, "This is the best ride at all of Disney," because they loved
I
how
think you're either into it or you're not.
he like this
Right.
one was another immersive.
There's just no in between here.
There's it's called Star Wars Rise of the Resistance or something like that. And your ship gets captured by the Order, and essentially when they let you out, you're in a room with all stormtroopers. So it's a very cool immersive experience. Which ride was your favorite from Hollywood Studios?
I don't remember a lot of the, like what Joe, like I don't remember a lot of the rides.
Okay. From what you remember, from what I said, there was 3 Star Wars rides and then Tower of Terror.
I'd probably say Tower and Terror.
Probably. Okay. Ready? Let's see if we can get it. Oh, I think it was before this. You guys will hear it in a sec. Oh my god. Oh my god. What?
Oh my god. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Now look at this face of pure. Look at this face. Ready?
You gotta just pause it on that face.
Dude, my butt was coming out of the seat. I had to hold on.
Pure fear. Hold on, I gotta show them.
Oh my god.
But
that was your favorite ride.
that
though.
was my favorite ride.
What were the other one? I mean, the other one was the Star Wars one.
Star Wars, Star Wars one. There was a lot more to it. Like
Yeah.
you move a lot more, and again, the animatronics and the visual aspect of it. Like a window breaks and your cart like
Was
acts like it's in the
moving.
wind. And
Yep.
You see Kylo Ren being
Kylo Ren.
pulled out of the spaceship.
Yeah, it was really cool. But I mean,
That one was the
Hollywood-
most fun though.
yeah, I mean, if you go to Six Flags, you go in Tower Terror, you just go up and down. But
Yeah.
this one, you went inside and you saw other things, and it's actually there's a true story about, not true story, but that actually happened. There's like
What?
the hotel was actually haunted, or the tower was actually haunted.
No, well, no, it's based off of a movie. I don't think you've ever seen it, but there's a movie called Tower of Terror.
I have it if you want to borrow it.
Thanks, because I still don't have my original movie back, so maybe I can keep one so that you'll give me mine back eventually.
You never remind.
I never heard of the movie.
It's an older movie. It came out in the 90s.
Yeah, Steve Guttenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just about
It's older.
it was
Yeah, it was just
a
it was
haunted.
yeah, they were all like stuck in time.
Yeah.
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 I liked it.
It's one of the oldest, not the oldest, but it's an older ride that has been around literally forever at Hollywood Studios. Versus Star Wars is a new world that they just created. I don't remember what it was before, but I think it was like E.T. or no, I think that was Universal. I can't remember, but yeah, it's an old ride that's been there forever.
Yeah.
So we didn't go, there's a fireworks show there. We didn't do that one because at that point he'd already seen the one at Epcot and liked that one and was kind of like over it.
Fireworks one time, not for me.
He was all set with it.
Unless you're the one lighting them.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
So I was like, he was like, are you going to be mad? I'm like, nope, it's your trip and whatever you want to do.
It's your trip you didn't ask for. We're here to celebrate you. Very cool.
But Tower of Terror versus the Star Wars ride, it is very close. I just personally like Tower of Terror a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell by your reaction. You love it.
Genuine. I feel like I was falling out of the chair.
I know. Because it's like all of a sudden you move through and you get to the spot and the doors open and you kind of see, like he didn't know what the premise of any of these rides were.
Okay, yeah.
So he kind of went into it blindly. So all of a sudden he's like moving and then he sees it and the door's open and he just drops. And then you come back up and you see the door open where you can see outside into like the park again and you drop. So you're just like, he's just caught off guard, which is what that reaction
See, I don't know
was.
if it's better to be caught off guard or to know what's going to happen but not know when.
I think it's better to be caught off guard and just like, don't tell me.
Yeah, just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. So what's your overall rating for that one?
I would give it a B-.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, that's a lot higher than I thought. I really thought he was going to give that one a D.
No?
I feel like you're like swaying him.
No,
because
for me, for me, that one was lower on my ranking, and it's because if the Rock and Roller Coaster was open, that one would be like a B for me. But that one's closed, so we literally only had like 4 rides that we went on.
Yep.
One of which was a ride where we were with a complete other family, and we were in this like ship, and we had to control like. I controlled left and right. This other kid did up and down. Nick was like pushing buttons to like shoot shit. And I was controlling it, but like it was super indicative of my driving. I couldn't keep the machine straight. So this poor family is going like this. They're just swaying back and forth because I can't keep the thing straight. Nick's like, go straight, go straight. I'm like, I am. The family is yelling at me to go straight.
They weren't yelling at you.
Not yelling, but they're like, go straight. Like the kid next to me, he was like, go straight. I'm like, I'm trying to. I can't do it. I can't do it.
So what do you give this one?
I give that one like a C.
C. All right, so you had a higher grade on that one than she did.
Yeah, I just like the ride. Just the rides were cool. I mean, that's what I like doing. But
yeah,
other than the rides, I'm not a Disney person. I'm not gonna go in a fucking Disney shop and buy a Disney mug. Like I just
yeah.
We
walked in 2 shops. I was like,
All
immediately.
Yeah,
Get me out of here.
I'm out.
So
I'm out.
I didn't buy. I bought some gifts for her friends.
Yeah.
But Disney shops, I didn't want to go in. I didn't care about shopping. I just wanted to ride the rides.
Yeah.
So my ranking so far is Animal Kingdom first, Epcot second. This is third, and yours is Animal Kingdom first. This one's second, and then Epcot third. Mm-hmm. And then the last day was.
And you gave that a B minus?
Which one? I just gave this one a C.
A C, and you were at a B plus.
Yeah, so that brings me down to like a B minus.
B minus, and he said about a C plus still.
Yeah.
B minus, C plus.
Yeah, that's more like a B minus because he just gave it a B or whatever.
He gave it a B minus, so he was at a C plus on the average.
Yeah, I guess you're in the middle. Then.
So you're in the middle.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay, and then the last one. Now we're gonna tank. Is I know this is where this is
This
going.
ain't for me.
So the last one. I mean, it's for me too. The last one is Magic Kingdom. So Magic Kingdom, I knew originally I wasn't going to give that a full day because I knew that there wasn't much to do. Because a lot of that about Magic Kingdom is families, kids, meeting the princesses, meeting the characters, doing lunch with the princesses. That's a big thing at Magic Kingdom. So what we did was we went on a Pirates of the Caribbean ride, which is the one that he was talking about, the animatronics.
Okay. Did we like that one?
Yes.
Okay.
But what was the name of that ride? Because that wasn't called Pirates of the Caribbean?
It was called Pirates of the Caribbean.
It was?
Yep. Yeah, there was another one called Jungle River or something, but we didn't do that one. We did Pirates of the Caribbean. I have the app still. But yeah, it was like Pirates of the Caribbean. I'll tell you exactly what's on it.
The amount of people are just clueless at these parks.
Yeah,
Oh God, I can imagine.
Like, you get a whole family of 12 keeping up the whole, so people
Taking
can't walk
pictures of
by.
every fucking thing and stopping.
Yeah, but,
and,
but stop. People got baby strollers and you're walking and they just stop. And I bump into them like, bro.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
that
like being
one's-
at the mall.
Yeah. So that one's called Pirates of the Caribbean. It was called that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did that one, and that was a fun ride. Another ride that we had done that I knew he wasn't going to like, but it's a ride. I just talked about it with my manager. It's a ride you have to do when you go to Disney. It's like the most classic. It's one of the oldest rides. It's called It's a Small World. And there's these little dolls that sing, "It's a small world after all." And they decorate the dolls for each country. So you're going through a boat, and each country has dolls that are like on a swing set and hula dancing for Hawaii and doing different things. I knew he hated every bit of that.
I didn't say a word that whole ride.
Yeah.
This is, you just have
I was
to
like, oh
do
my
it.
God, look, it's Japan. And I'm just watching it.
Like how cool,
me off
even
the
for you, how cool could that be?
No, but it's a class. I wouldn't have gone on it if it wasn't his first time. But like my mom would have even asked and been like, "Did you go on it?" Like it's a ride that you go on when you go to Disney for your first
Aren't you
time.
glad you went on that ride?
Yes.
Another thing we did at it is Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. So what they do, which is a really cool thing that they do at Disney, is you'll see like, did you ever watch Monsters Inc.?
No, sir.
Okay, so did you watch Finding Nemo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we watched Finding Nemo. This was at Animal Kingdom, but you have Crush, the turtle, on a screen.
Okay.
And he moves around, and there's things that he can do. But there's a person on the other side of the screen who talks like Crush does and asks people questions. So he'll be like, "You, the one with the orange, like, turtle thing, like, whatever, what is it called? Turtle shell. Like, what, you have a question for me?" And the kid will ask the question, and he's like, "Oh, what's this? Like, this is my, like," and it's a foam finger. And he's like, "What do I do with it? Do I, like, poke people?" So, like, they interact with it. Oh, my
God, this sucks.
No, so the Monsters Inc. was really fun because what they did was they had Mike Wazowski, which was like one of the characters from Monster Inc., and they do like a stand-up comedy show, and you could submit your jokes, and they didn't read off my joke, but like they would pick on people from
I
the
can only
audience.
imagine what your joke was.
You want to know what my joke was?
Go ahead.
Yeah, please.
I went to the store and tried buying camouflage pants. I couldn't find them or something
But
like
you
that.
can't. You didn't give the punchline right.
I mean,
went
I don't
to-
know. Okay.
I went to the store to try to buy camouflage pants, but I couldn't find any. Get it? Because they're camouflage. You would be a
so we were in
bad
line.
comedian. You got to give the punchline right.
Yeah, we were in line.
His rendition, honestly, could have been
We were in line. There
funny.
was a whole group of people, and there was a couple of screens that said, "If you have a joke, text it at this number." So everybody, if you had a joke, you text it in.
Yeah.
But what sucked is he only read off
Three of them.
three of them.
Yeah.
It's just to steal your information.
Probably. Now they have my number.
Yeah, exactly.
They do take your fingerprint scan, so they already have that before you even like walk in.
This is, well,
They did it for
security measures. I get
security.
it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So that was the Monsters Inc. place, which was kind of fun because they were picking on like the same guy and like in the audience. He was definitely like an older gentleman, and they would like zoom in on this camera, but like you see the animated monsters talking to him, but obviously
Yeah.
it's a real person somewhere that has camera visuals. It's cool how
I
they
actually
do that.
enjoyed it. Same with the Finding Nemo one. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the Finding Nemo one wasn't as good. Like I've seen cool ones on TikTok.
Yeah,
We just had like a quiet audience. Nick was like, "You should have talked," because like
because you had a question.
I just wanted to get it to talk and like do the things that I'd seen on TikTok. But anyways, the last thing that we had done in Magic Kingdom was, oh my God, Space Mountain. Space Mountain was the
Yes.
last ride that we did. Thoughts on Space Mountain? Do you remember it? Nick was screaming the whole time.
What about? We didn't really talk about Guardians.
We'll go back to that one.
Okay,
I just figured
all right.
let's stop at Magic first or finish Magic.
Space Mountain, a lot of fun.
He was the only one screaming the entire time.
The entire time. I don't know why. Because you're on this ride, and it's kind of similar. We can get to it, but it's kind of similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. You go in this. You're on this roller coaster, and you go into this area, and it's dark. Mm-hmm. There's a couple.
Everything's dark.
Everything's dark. That one was that. I'm kind of getting my rides mixed up, but we're going left and right and up and down. I didn't know it was black. You couldn't see.
Yeah.
And she was behind me, and there was an empty spot in front of me, and then a mom and a daughter ahead of me. Mm-hmm. And I'm the only one screaming.
He turns back at the end of the ride and he goes, "Why was I the only one screaming?" I'm like, I don't know.
maybe they've been on it plenty of times, so they just going through.
It also wasn't super scary though.
No, but you don't know where you're going. It's dark.
Yeah. So that was.
He doesn't like the dark.
Overall, there was essentially like 2 rides and a show that we did from Magic Kingdom. I think ultimately, or like two rides plus the Magic. The Monsters Inc. So that was like 3 things that we did there. Okay. Magic Kingdom was tough. Like it's not a lot of stuff to do for adults. However, that day, I finally, from Magic Kingdom, that day I finally was able to, so you have to, the 2 newest rides, there is another ride there. We just didn't get the chance to do it, to be fair. There was one called from Tron, and we just didn't get the chance to do it. People said it was really cool. You like ride on a bike, and people said it was super fun. But we never got the chance to do it because 2 of the new rides that they have, you have to
ride on a bike, and it's super cool.
You're on like a.
You could do that outside.
No, it's different.
Motorcycle.
It's different. But yeah, so that one we missed. So maybe that would have changed our perception of Magic Kingdom. A ride can really make a break.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
100%.
Doesn't matter.
So you have to join the virtual queues for like the newer rides, and that meant I got up at 7 a.m. to reserve the virtual queue for us so that we could go on these new rides, because you couldn't just wait in line for them, and you couldn't use a fast pass on these newer rides. Okay. So for 2 days, I had been trying to get the Guardians of Galaxy, which was at Epcot, which was the first park that we went to. I just couldn't get in to be able to reserve our spot. Finally, on the last day, I got in because we had seen so many families who were like, you need to go on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. It's the best ride there. So I finally reserved it. And the way that I reserved it was that we would have to come to Magic Kingdom, spend some hours there, and then go back to Epcot, because it was just like we would be killing too much time at Epcot. And as he said, he ranked it pretty low. He didn't want to eat and drink around the world again. So
wasting dollars.
Yeah. So we killed some time at Magic Kingdom and then went back there, rode on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which you can give your opinion on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
A lot of fun.
That was like one of the best rides I've ever been on at that time.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Like it was kind of the same ride with Space Mountain.
But better.
Way better. Again,
so was that your favorite of all the rides? Or is it up there?
I can't. What did I say?
Your top 2 were between that one and then the Avatar one, where you're on the Banshee, like on the bike, on the Banshee with the virtual reality.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I'm telling him.
Yeah, I know.
I'm telling him. He doesn't know.
That was his 2 favorite.
Which one was your? If you had
2?
to choose one, yeah.
I'd probably say Avatar.
Yeah. So the Avatar one, you don't move. The Guardians of the Galaxy, you move. Like your cart is spinning. You have virtual reality glasses, or you have 3D glasses on. And as you're like facing certain ways, like we looked down and we could see like a sphere, and it looked like Earth was underneath us.
Yeah, it was like a moon. Yeah.
And then you're like going backwards at the same time. It was a very cool concept. I hadn't ridden at the time. I made a post on Instagram on my story, and I said that was one of my favorite rides and one of the best rides I had ridden on in a very long time. Like, as someone who goes to Six Flags every year and loves roller coasters, that was one of the best rides I had been on in a long time.
Gotcha.
So that is the end of our Disney debacle before we went to Universal. So there's one more thing that we did after.
Okay, but I didn't get the rating on Magic.
Let's do the rating on Magic.
A to F, Magic Kingdom.
C.
You rank that higher? You rank that higher than Epcot?
Wow, C plus.
I know. That one's for me is like a D. I think if I went on Tron, I would have had it higher. Are we?
It's just because that card.
What are we at?
48.
Damn, really?
Yeah. So we got like we have a few minutes
5
left
minutes?
before, like 3.5 before that card is gonna get full and it's gonna stop recording.
Okay. Should we stop now?
No, just finish.
Okay.
You just got a few minutes. We'll just wrap it up.
Okay, cool. So that one for me is like a D, and in which case my overall rating would be Animal Kingdom's first, Epcot is second, Hollywood Studios third, Magic Kingdom's fourth. For you, that would mean Animal,
Hollywood.
Yep. Magic Kingdom,
Epcot.
and then Epcot would be last.
Oh, all right.
So we have different ratings. The last thing that we did on our trip was we went to Universal Studios, which we can both agree. You give your opinion so that he doesn't think I influenced you. What was your opinion on Universal?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
All right.
I wish I had spent maybe one extra day there and maybe knocked off Magic Kingdom.
All right. So what about it was amazing? Because you're talking to somebody who has never been. I don't know any of this shit.
You would hate it because there's all big rides.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Yeah.
this is more of a roller coaster.
More adult.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went on like a Transformers ride that was like 3D. It was great. A Fast and Furious that was not good.
Awful.
Spider-Man, good. King Kong, good.
Hulk.
Hulk was an actual roller coaster that was fun. There was a Jurassic Park one that was insane and one of the craziest rides ever that goes upside down over water in a corkscrew while you only have a lap bar on you. I was like scared for my life in that one. We both walked off being like, I can't believe this is a ride. Like, this is crazy. And then we finished overall, because we only have a few minutes, is in the Harry Potter world, which is like my element. And I think he knows how much I love it and how important it is for me. But we rode on a ride that even he really liked. And it was the second to last ride that we were on. And it was a motorcycle on one side with a cart on the other. And it would twist and turn. So he's been on bikes before, but like it would lean one way, lean the other, go backwards. It dropped at one point. Like and that had animatronics as well.
I just feel like, I mean, I know I go back to the whole time, but just the whole visual and animatronics on how they, like keep on saying Six Flags is just...
They just don't have that.
They just don't have that.
So overall, would you go back to
Oh my God. I go 4 times a year.
To what?
Universal?
Universal. But that's different then, right? Is that separate?
Disney's separate than Universal, but people tend to go to both of them. Like when you're there, because it's overall like a giant money pit. You just go to both.
Yeah.
Like,
Gotcha. Like SeaWorld is in that.
Yeah, like you just go to all of it while you're there. So you would go back to Universal.
A lot of fun.
Would you go back to Disney ever?
Yeah. A long time from now.
Like with children maybe, or like you'd go by yourself again? Like
I don't know if I would like to go again, just you and I.
Okay. Like if we had kids.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you want to do Spitfire? Are we still going? What are we doing?
yeah, I think we probably got a minute, so we're gonna end this with like a little fast 5, right? We're gonna do
love that
or hate that.
Yep.
Okay.
So you got to say if you love that or hate that.
Got it.
All right, the rides at Disney overall.
Love it.
Okay. Disney princesses.
Hate it.
Disney Channel movies.
Hate it.
Eat and drink around the world.
Hate it.
Disney as a vacation spot.
Hate it.
Okay, so that's our fast 5. This might end abruptly, so
Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we love that so much for us. Or I love that for me. Did you love that for you?
Like the video.
Like the video. Did you love that for you?
Like
or
what?
did you hate that for you? Overall, the trip. Did you love that for you or hate that for you?
I loved it.
he loved it, but he also said he hated it as a vacation spot. So thanks, Nick, for coming by, and we're gonna have we're gonna have him back on
For hot ones.
for hot ones. A different type of hot ones, but still hot ones.
But still hot ones.
Nice.
If you don't answer, you're dabbing.
Yep. Later.